our thanks to all of our musicians this morning, how much we appreciate it. I don't know where I first saw people fly through the air from one bar to another. At the circus, in a movie, I don't know where it was, but it was thrilling to see. How did they have the courage to let go and leap across that empty space? But we plain, sometimes awkward human beings do it too. Not in tutus or tights, but we do it. Hope to land on the other bar with enough strength left to hold on. It's timing, it's judging how far the next bar will be. It's knowing our own strength, our own weakness. It can be terrifying. Sometimes we have no intention of leaping, but as the parable said, that old bar is no longer an alternative. Or there's a death, and we have to experience, and we've experienced that this week. Or someone we love gets sick, or we ourselves get sick. Or a divorce, not of our choosing. Or we lose a job, or we have to move somewhere we didn't want to move. Well, you know all these things. You've done them. You've faced them, and if you haven't, you will. You've been there. You didn't have a choice. It may still. Well, we all know, too, that choices give us possibilities, and possibilities can be wonderful, but when you hadn't looked for the possibilities, they're not so wonderful. Other times we are eager to leap, excited, even elated, to leap, to make a transition, to bring about a change in our lives. It may be painful, frightening to let go, but we're ready to enter the space between and leap toward or wanting to catch that new bar. It may be a promotion or a new baby, a marriage, the end of something that you've been working toward for a very long time. And ends always mean new beginnings. It may be a new job or a new place to live or a new relationship. Whatever it is that you want, it's a risk. New relationships can be fraught with problems, can't they? New babies change our lives. We had a wise friend who had, he and his wife had just had their baby, and I was great with child, and we were visiting, and so we asked for his advice, and they looked at each other and had that sleep-deprived look that new parents have, and he said, "They don't go home at night." They don't go home at night. New jobs can be great, but there are no perfect jobs anywhere, and every promotion comes with a lot more responsibility, doesn't it? Sometimes the transitions we make are so subtle, we don't even know that we've let go, or that we had to let go. And we certainly hadn't anticipated flying across a precipice, not having to catch another bar in a very different place. Transitions appear to be what is constant, maybe the only thing that is constant in human life. Who read that? I think Nancy read that. Don't play for safety. It's the most dangerous thing in the world. Collectively, we are in a space between the bars, right here in this religious community. Our settled minister, the one we call, is now leaving the jungle and is weaning her way back, I think, to this country. We made a transition at her departure off to the jungle, and shortly we will welcome her home. That's a transition we made from a full-time minister to a part-time intern minister. Ed made a transition, didn't you, Ed? From intern to being in charge. Like it or not. Our minister, the Reverend Terry Bailoff, made a transition into a new language and a new territory and a whole lot of new plants and animals, and she reports insects. And it sounds to me as if she'll be eager to return. The membership has been meeting with a team from our parent organization, the Unitarian Universalist Association, to help us with the transition that's been bumpy, to say the least, for some of our members, and affects most of us not at all. In every organization, there are disagreements. But if the group is important, as this group is to so many of us, we find ways to reconcile. Your chosen leaders realize the danger of flying across a precipice of the space between, and rightly ask for help from the UUA. In those meetings, you are listening to each other, both folks who've been here for years and newcomers. We're figuring out how to carry out our precious goals, living with each other. This is the space between, and it's time, a special time for growth. We have a chance to be a better congregation. We have the chance to serve each other better if we choose to grow, both as individuals and as a group. This is just one of the leaps that this congregation has made. I've seen several since I joined the congregation 52 years ago. Now, mind you, I was gone for 32 of those years, so I missed a lot of transitions. But I think of what a big step it was to think about buying a piece of property when we could always meet in the Y. With our budget, when I joined, $55 a year. That was the whole budget. That took care of the coffee. And I think it paid a meager rent to the Y. And are we really going to do this? Are we really going to buy land? I think we could possibly pay for it. And then a building? So we built this little building over here because we had just had so much money and we worked very, very hard and we built a good building. And very soon it was too small. And so we moved on and on and on. And there was should we have a minister or not? Maybe not. Well, we could have part of a minister. We could have a minister one Sunday a month. We went through all of these transitions. I missed most of those. But we managed to move on and we managed to grow. May we all work toward reconciliation and catch the new bar. Assuming we all do that, that won't mean that there are no more challenges. We human beings thrive on challenges. That's what humans do. In the past 2 weeks, our whole denomination has faced a transition. Our UUA president resigned over a controversy about our hiring practices. Let me tell you, that's a long way from being resolved. But it's a chance for all of us to grow. It's a chance to serve our congregations and our ministers better, our members better. I've seen a lot of controversies in our denomination. May we survive this one as we have others in the past. Some have been really, really bumpy, but may we grow and develop in the process. And then we're in the midst of a transition in our country. When people are confused, disappointed, hopeful, not hopeful. There's a frightening tone in this country. So many people are angry with the others, those people, whoever they are. They're angry about them. We have to stop thinking of us and them. We are a nation. There are days when it seems that our three branches of government are at loggerheads with each other. So collectively, as a congregation, as a denomination, as a nation, we may feel that somebody moved that other swinging bar farther and farther away. Away from us, and the leap across thin air is much longer. How important it is to have a safety net, even though now it feels like it may have some holes in it. But there are just times in our lives when we miss the bar altogether. We fall. One of the safety nets in our lives is right here. This congregation, we provide emotional and loving support when one of us falls, and probably a bunch of casseroles. Yes, we mess up collectively. We really mess up. But we also get it right sometimes. We celebrate with each other when one of us catches the next bar. We celebrate indeed. I remember the celebration when we celebrated Eve's ordination. What an event that was. And about 30 years before that, you celebrated my ordination. And I thank you for that, too. We are most appreciative, are we not? We mourn when there's a death in this congregation, as we did this week. And remember that grief is long and complex. It doesn't take a week or a month or a year. Grief goes on and it pops up at the oddest times in our lives. A fragrance, a bit of music. Something happens, somebody says something, and we're right back there in that grief. If we love, we risk grief. We will grieve. This is the place that can help us from crashing if we do our collective jobs here. We also love it when a baby is born. And I had the pleasure of looking at Elena's baby last week back in the, she was crying, so I got to hear her back in the other room. And then, of course, she was very quiet.
Elena or the baby?
Elena. Oh, the baby. Yes. Good thing to say. We celebrate, if not with words, but in our hearts, when any one of our young people comes up here and participates in the service, or sometimes they do a whole service, and we are so proud of them. They are our future. We have great pride. We have our memorial garden where we can go and contemplate whatever we need to do. We bury the ashes of our dead there, but we also meet there for celebratory occasions. I've done a couple of weddings there when Terry was not able to do them, and it's a beautiful setting for that. We all need safety nets at times. Every time we leap across the space between, we need community. Church can be that community. Yes, we fail each other sometimes, and we always will, but we also rescue each other. That's why most of us are here, I do believe. We needed a community, a village to bring up our children. I remember how important it was for me when our son and daughter were here. They came at 14 months and 2.5. They knew and trusted other people, other adults that they could go to as they grew. How important that was. We have a very few relatives in the world, and this congregation became their place. Just as it is the place of those children that we saw this morning that are here right now. When I left here more than 35 years ago to learn a new craft, I left my husband here in this community until I could be qualified for my new job elsewhere. This was home to him. This religious community means a great deal to me and to my family. It's been our safety net. May it be yours when you need it. And you'll be mighty lucky if you don't sometime. I think of that sentence. Who read that one? A ship in harbor. Ed read it. A ship in harbor is safe, but that is not what ships are built for. No, indeed, they're not. We human beings are built to take chances. We are built to withstand change, to grieve, to celebrate. That doesn't mean it's easy. I can't imagine the courage it took for Niemöller to speak out in Nazi Germany as he did in the reading Jane read to us earlier. How hard it was because you spoke and then you went to prison. Not easy. And I love that piece of Robert Frost that Cecil read. Courage is the human virtue that counts most. Courage to act on limited knowledge and insufficient evidence. That's all any of us have, so we must have the courage to go ahead and act on a hunch. Limited knowledge and insufficient evidence. Yep. But we forge ahead somehow. Shakespeare said that our doubts are traitors to us. Elizabeth read that to us. They prevent us from attempting to act on the hunch. Have you ever heard in your head things like, oh, I can't possibly do that. I'll fail. I will fall flat on my face. I never was good at that sort of thing. It won't work. It won't work. Boy, have I ever heard those things. It takes courage. That sentence, Robert, did you read this one? A great deal of talent. Who read that one? Yes, a great deal of talent is lost in this world for want of courage. Are you using your talent? Are you using your talent? This world needs your talent. Your talent is different from everybody else's in this room. For that matter, it's different from everybody else's in the world. The combination of talents in your own being. Don't waste it. Now is the time to use it. Now. That's all the time we have. Now. Call on your courage. Remember that word comes from core, from the heart. Courage is the strength of our spirits, our spiritual strength. That's why we're here, why we gather on Sunday mornings, I think. I think we come to find courage and strength to be our very best selves. Oh yeah, we get to make friends and have some fun and do a lot of silly and wonderful things. That's icing on the cake. But in such a gathering as this, all across this country, people seek to find themselves and to be their best selves. We can be grateful for all that we have, all that we are. Gratitude is another one of those spiritual virtues. use that gratitude to realize what you are, what's in you. Use it to realize what you can become. Be grateful for the gifts the universe bestowed upon you and use them. Let us recognize the transitions before us and take courage. Can we reconcile with those in our lives from whom we differ? Can we respect others? Can we try to really, really act as if love is the spirit of this church? Can we do that? Do we have the inner strength to let go and fly out into that space, to cross the space between, to grab the bar at the right time? Let this space be your time. Let this space between be the time